YouTube, what it do, my friend? Back again. For those who don't know, I go by the name of Rack Daddy Rambo. And today, I got another reaction video. But today we're gonna be reacting to my boy DJ Akademiks, his live stream. He was talking about Lil Durk's situation and how he feel that Lil Durk stands a chance to actually beat his case. So, without any further ado, let's jump straight up in this video. Let's get popping, man.
I'm one of the people, I think I got cooked in the comments when I went on Vlad and I said, I think Durk got a chance. Because the Durk's case, I know everybody keeps saying the feds are undefeatable. And honestly, they do have a great success rate. But a lot of people don't go to trial with them, and a lot of people don't have the resources to actually box with them. We saw a young boy who beat them. I mean, there's a lot of people who got favorable results, if you want to be honest. Now, granted, this is a case that carries potentially even death, and they haven't indicated that they want death for Durk. But we do have to kind of analyze what's probably going to happen here, because the feds have they've pinned their case for Durk and hinged it on a few things that I've always seen as frivolous, okay? Now, it's enough to hold him. It's enough to charge him. I've always said it's maybe not enough to convict him. By the way, I'm also the same person that thinks that Pooh Shiesty might actually even have a case to beat his situation. So those are two different cases that people usually say, oh, it's cooked. Now, I've explained in depth why I think both cases might actually be favorable for the defendants, but to specifically get to Durk and kind of let you know, Durk is not tied to this particular murder for hire, which he is accused of being the top guy. He never...
All right, I ain't going to be doing a whole lot of pausing and talking. I just want to say, this shit is so hard for me to believe that niggas that come from nothing, that come from poverty, that come from where niggas is dying every day behind bullshit. Niggas is getting killed for less than $40 ounces of weed and shit. You understand what I'm saying? They find a way to make it to multi-millionaires by doing the same shit I'm doing, just talking. You understand what I'm saying? Just talking shit. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to believe that these niggas will get up in these positions with all this power and crash out in such a stupid, ignorant way. I ain't even saying that a nigga wouldn't do some gangster shit. I can understand that. But it's like, nigga, you gon' do it like a dummy? You gonna move like a crash dummy? That's confusing as fuck. You know what I mean? So that's why I be like, man, I don't believe this shit. It gotta be a play. You know what I'm saying? This gotta be a play. You know what I'm talking about? It's hard for me to believe that Pooh Shiesty would really try to fucking rob Gucci, man. Man, come the fuck on, man. Come the fuck on, man.
There's no damn in text that says, did you kill the guy for me? There's no damn in text that says, go kill the guy. There's actually only one thing that refers to maybe something happening where he says, don't put something under my name. Now, obviously, some people could be like, well, now he said that because he wanted to be discreet. But even if you want to give that the benefit of the doubt, are you telling me that a jury that needs to convict a man beyond a reasonable doubt, the only statement that's said by him that was supposed to be the damning statement, the dead to rights type of thing, is him saying, don't put nothing under my name? We'll see. Essentially, that case is going to come down to a bunch of snitches, right? The guy who used to be with Vaughn all the time, his name is Vonnie, he's going to have to take the stand.
Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Yeah, I ain't really no criminal ass nigga. I don't be knowing all this shit, but can't they just get this nigga, if nothing else, can't they just get this nigga on a conspiracy to commit this shit? Can't they just say that we got enough motherfucking evidence that you might have done this shit? I don't know. Somebody correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I don't know.
One of the shooters is taking a stand. Here's the thing. If Durk did do this, and we're going to talk in hypotheticals right now because, yeah. Durk never talked to the shooters. And that's one of the smart things that Durk did. He always communicated through the middleman. Who's the middleman according to the feds? That is OTF DD. So he talked to DD, never talked to the shooter. So there's a shooter who's actually snitching, his co-conspirator too. And he's one of the snitches. Except he never talked to Durk directly. So he could possibly say, well, Durk did want me to kill this guy. But will he be able to share that Durk sent him a message saying, hey, come kill him? Or have anything that maybe he was wearing a wire? No. So how do they plan to prove this case against Durk? Well, they plan to prove this case against Durk because they're saying, well, Durkio used his right-hand man at the time, which would be Vonnie. They boarded a plane, a private jet, via Florida after they heard that Quando Rondo was going to be in L.A. They went to L.A., Durk disguised it like he was doing podcasts and things like that. And by the way, for the people who have said it, and I've heard Wax say this incorrectly a couple times, that's not when me and Durk did our interview. That was a separate time. So we did some other interview. It might have been Nelk Boys, but it's a separate time, though. Anyway, Durk goes to L.A. He's trying to do business, but the guys he goes with and supposedly are there goes to carry out this murder. Vonnie gets the gloves. Vonnie gets, like, the mask. Vonnie gets the guns to give to the guys. You have two people, I believe, that come from Chicago and one that comes from somewhere else. Anyway, the point what I'm trying to say with trying to explain this situation is there's limited Durk exposure unless the snitches do a convincing job of proving that Durk was behind this. After they killed Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pop, they went to In-N-Out. Hey, listen, anybody in California? Tell me if I'm wrong. In-N-Out got them burgers, man. Shit. You just caught a body, you got to go over there. You got to get that double-double. Facts.
I'm from Texas, man. In-N-Out versus Whataburger. I ain't gonna say it. Hey, In-N-Out versus Whataburger. In the comments, y'all let me know. All I'm gonna say, I'm from Texas, homie. In-N-Out versus Whataburger. Y'all let me know. But hey, you can't compete where you don't compare. You hear me? You cannot compete where you don't compare, man. I'm salty at that goddamn thin ass fries, man.
Facts.
That shit, man.
Facts. Okay. Now, they all went to In-N-Out. That's documented. That's on camera. Durk's not there. Allegedly, they're talking about payment. Maybe others are bringing up, oh, no, Durk, got you. But still, Durk is not there himself. They don't really have much really saying that Durk did anything, except they have the people who are connected to it, we believe, that are going to point at Durk. So who are the people? So the shooter is going to say, well, Didi told us Durk wanted the guy dead. Vonnie, who set this up, told us Durk was going to pay us. There's supposedly OTF Jam, who's going to say, well, Durk always had like a bounty to get somebody killed. So they're kind of having, it's like everybody around you say,
man, hold up. Okay. I don't mean to keep stopping, but goddamn it, nigga, how many niggas they said that done this shit? Like 4, 5 niggas that done this shit, huh? Including Lil Durk. That nigga just said 3 of them niggas is 10. Man, what the fuck did y'all do this shit for, man? Did that nigga make you do this shit? Why the fuck did you niggas even agree to do this shit if you gonna tell on me? Man, that's crazy. You could have just said, nah, bro. Doe, let me out. I'd rather let your bitch ass out the car than have to kill you because you're trying to tell on me. Because what if I can't kill you? And you get to tell on me? Oh, my God. Come on, man. That's some bullshit. You could have just said, nah. You could have just stopped answering the phone when I called or something. You know what I'm saying? You could have done anything. But your pussy ass want to tell on me. You got involved. You knew what was going on. You knew the plan. Nigga, come on, man. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
no, it's that guy. But
That's crazy.
because there is no audio recording of Durk ever saying go kill someone, and I do want to remind you of what happened in the Dolph case. Now, granted, this was a state case coming out of Tennessee because that happened in Memphis, but in the Dolph case, the reason why Big Jook was never charged, and he actually got murdered before he got charged with the death of young Dolph, is literally because there was, even though they had the killer who was willing to snitch, they literally felt they needed more to actually put Jook in the crosshairs of doing a murder for hire. So before they arrested him, they said they were investigating him. He got killed. If you don't know that story, Big Jook, who is the brother of Yo Gotti, supposedly puts a bag on young Dolph's head. He gets 2 guys to do it. Those guys go and do it. And essentially, they get caught. One of them starts telling. The other one, you know, straight drop. Justin Johnson, he goes down. He doesn't tell. But before Big Jook could get arrested, he gets murdered at the funeral of his father or grandfather, where Gotti also attended, but Gotti was not shot. Gotti came in a bulletproof vehicle and showed up with a lot of security.
Damn,
So
that's crazy.
I'm giving you the parallels here. It's not that easy, I believe, to prove that Durk killed these people. Also, I know some people say, well, they're snitching on him. Well, here's the thing, and this is my cause with Pooh Shiesty too. So in the Pooh Shiesty situation, who are the people who are going to be who's going to give testimony? Some of y'all, I know y'all want to say, oh, the off-duty cop, because there was one of them and there was a security guard. Well, the off-duty cop wasn't in the room. The jury's going to have to hear eyewitness testimony from a few people. There's a white cameraman. Okay, he has a clean record. Cool. But you have Gucci Man, who's a basically decorated felon. He's a notorious, again, if I'm a prosecutor or a defense attorney, I'm going to say this guy's if I'm a defense attorney, actually, he's a decorated liar. He's not trustworthy at all. We could point back to his lyrics and how he's lived. And what's happening now? How could you trust his word? So I would do a bang up job of getting Gucci to be seen as a flat out liar if he does take a stand. Some people feel like he won't take a stand.
You know that, man.
Then we have Gucci's friend, and I would imagine birds of a feather flock together. Gucci's friend probably is not a clean citizen as well. So that's the point. Durk is going to go to trial. They don't have anything exculpatory, or not exculpatory, like incriminating in terms of, yo, Durk, we have the $50,000 transfer from your account to the killer's account. Like, we got you, bro. They don't have that. What they do have is a bunch of niggas snitching on Durk, except the bunch of niggas snitching on Durk is facing murder. Of course they're going to snitch. So what the Durk's lawyer is going to do is paint everybody else out as some spineless snitches who would even throw an innocent Durk under the bus to get themselves underneath a murder charge. Again, maybe not the most ideal thing, but I will say, it is something that some people believe could give enough reasonable doubt that a jury will not convict Durk without some hard evidence tying him to the murder for hire. What does that mean, chat? Well, it's turned into
waiting for pay.
Alright, y'all, that's all we're gonna do for this video. Y'all gotta stay tuned for the next one to see what my boy Akademiks was saying, but my thoughts and opinions on all that, man, is, dog, you a multi-millionaire. It ain't no way around it. You gotta feel like a jackass sitting in that cell, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's it, though, man. Till next time, man, y'all stay blessed, man. It's Almighty both. Y'all locked into the next video. Peace.